Last month, Yale student Annie Lay went to her laboratory building 5 days before her wedding and was not seen again. The day of her wedding, she was found to have been strangled and stuffed in the walls of the building basement by lab technician Raymond Clark. Motives for the crime are still unclear. Last week, 20-year-old UCLA junior Catherine Rosen was stabbed multiple times and slashed on the throat by a fellow student in organic chemistry lab. Assailant Damon Thompson, who is also 20, brought the knife into the lab and is currently on $3 million bail. The victim is recovering from the attempted murder, but the motive for the crime, likewise, is still unknown.
In light of these incidents, how can we continue to feel safe in the university environment?
The Yale grad student incident actually really shook me up because I work in the lab when it's not usual business hours.
As like another side effect of a really violent society, and it hits every area, including science.
It's both shocking and it's outrageous. It's not really any words to describe it, I think. What would possess someone to do something like that?
Crime is a real thing. It happens here on this campus and at other campuses and all locations across the country. But it's not inevitable, and it's not something that will never happen. It's something that you have to deal with, and you can minimize your vulnerability to crime.
Sergeant Tucker encourages students to get to know the people around them rather than distance themselves. This way, problems may be discovered before they end in an act of violence.
And there is not someone lurking around every corner trying to take advantage of you or hurt you, but there are a few people that are looking for opportunities. Don't give them that opportunity.
Professor Alan Creighton, who works with social justice and violence prevention at the University Health Services, agrees that intuition often is right in these situations and encourages students to observe and be aware.
There's nothing you're doing that's inviting this kind of violence. It's already there in the culture. The question is about examining your relationships, examining your environment, figuring out how to have people around you in places like the labs, have other people to call on. A second thing is to talk to other people about safety in your labs, in your classes, in your residence halls, especially best friends or people you're close to. And don't let yourself be silenced about it.
In a laboratory building such as Valley Life Sciences Edition, precautions can be taken to ensure safety, such as locking doors behind you when working after hours and letting family and friends know your whereabouts and expected time of return.
So there may be other ways that you can keep people informed of where you are and what's going on. You know, we have other technology these days, whether it's the texting or the Twitter or the Facebook.
Whenever I'm by myself in the lab, I always make sure I'm signed online, I'm talking to people so that if I just disappear, then hopefully they'll call the police for me.
It's pretty easy to feel detached from something like that.
I mean, it's really sad that we have to come to this point. That, I mean, you can't trust anyone. You're always constantly afraid of someone hurting you for absolutely no reason.
The last murder on the UC Berkeley campus occurred in 1992 of Grace Asuncion in the 5th floor of this very building. Questions are still left unanswered from the slaying, and it remains today an active case.
Reporting for CalTV, this is Lucy Yu. Stay safe, Cal.